Hi everybody, my name is Keller MacLachlan, and for my research paper I chose to do neo-Nazis. So what is a neo-Nazi? The concept of neo-Nazism in the 21st century can be hard to grasp. Like many other groups, the culture of a neo-Nazi is hard to justify from an outside perspective, but by remaining objective, this presentation will give a glimpse into the lifestyle of those comprising this group, as well as the path that leads an individual to become a neo-Nazi. The identity of someone that adheres to neo-Nazi beliefs is one that follows the ideology of Adolf Hitler. Some of the key characteristics that govern this group is that of racism, ethnocentrism, and strong resentment towards those not involved with the cause. Neo-Nazis still exhibit a strong hatred towards people that were targeted during the Holocaust, such as Jewish people, gypsies, anybody not white, as well as a constantly changing hatred towards foreigners. Norms include participating in affiliated groups and political movements, exhibiting visual and auditory traits that are associated with neo-Nazism, and submitting to the vision that white men are the superior being on Earth. So where exactly do the neo-Nazis live? The initial revival of the Nazi movement came to fruition in Great Britain as early as 1960. The skinhead movement was incited as a means of lashing out with violence and nationalism towards the influx of Asian immigrants. The defiant mentality, first established in Great Britain, quickly spread to the rest of Central and Eastern Europe, with large support in areas such as Scandinavia, the Czech Republic, rural Eastern Germany. Many neo-Nazis can also be found in the United States, oftentimes linked to the old Confederate Party of the American Civil War. And as you can see in this slide, the map shows a lot of the hate groups identified throughout the United States. It's kind of hard to tell, but the most prominent one is the Ku Klux Klan, a group founded on very similar principles to that of the neo-Nazis. Most of these groups are concentrated in the southern United States, but there are also a fair amount in places like California. So who are the neo-Nazis? The fieldwork done on neo-Nazis has led to some extremely valuable information on the demographics and culture of neo-Nazis. Professor Jiri Musil has examined some of the general characteristics regarding the outward appearance of neo-Nazis. Professor Musil explains that neo-Nazis are often characterized by a shaved head, working-class clothes, and uniforms, as well as violent behavior to build an image of attractive virility. Neo-Nazis are oftentimes young men placed in middle to lower middle economic classes. Becoming a neo-Nazi usually stems from some sort of innate disadvantage or past experience that altered a person's life for the worse. This can come in a number of different ways, most of which involve failing to find a group to identify with, feeling displaced by another group's presence, which is oftentimes immigrants, or a traumatic experience that led to one seeking reassurance from others that they could identify with. So, how does a person become a neo-Nazi? In a study by Elizabeth Braw, she describes the rise of Beit Zeschape, one of the neo-Nazi leaders in East Germany throughout the past decade. As a young child, Zeschape was disconnected from her immigrant father, and she never got along with her mother. She was introduced to the ideology behind neo-Nazism through her boyfriend, and as she got older, they teamed up with others to formally form the group known as National Socialist Underground. The group terrorized parts of their town in eastern Germany, oftentimes beating immigrants or those that disagreed with them politically, as well as performing anti-Semitic demonstrations such as hanging fake bodies from bridges and painting Jew on their forehead. Zeschape and her group were finally broken up after 10 murders, 2 bombings, and 25 robberies. So how has the group changed since World War II? The traditions, principles, and ideology have largely remained the same since the end of the Nazi regime in World War II. However, the anonymity of the internet has allowed for these groups to be a lot bolder in their marketing, oftentimes using online advertisements, common forms of mass media like YouTube, and individual websites for promoting neo-Nazism. In conclusion, the American society has declared that hate is the most resentful emotion that one human can have towards another. I do not believe that neo-Nazis truly hate those they claim to. Rather, they have grown in an environment that has framed the misfortunes of their life as a result of others' actions and existence. With extensive guidance, diplomatic exposure, and widespread absolute cultural rejection of the ideology, I do believe that any neo-Nazi can be taught to love those they claim to hate. As Nelson Mandela once said, No one is born hating another person because of the color of his skin or his background or his religion. People must learn to hate, and if they can learn to hate, then they can learn to love. Thank you.